Hello, I have another saber video for you. This is a breakdown build of another commission that was requested by Phill, and it is for a krsabers shinhati hilt, based off of the saber that she uses in the Ahsoka TV series. We did originally discuss weathering this one. I do have some experience weathering, and we were going to slap some colours on this and try and get it to closer match the prop used in the TV show. But Khal over at krsabers has started doing runs of very nicely weathered sabers, and you managed to get one of those. So instead of this came to me pre-weathered and pre-sealed, all I did was the install and the config. So let's open this up and kind of run you through a few notable features. When this came to me, there were a couple things. So I don't know about the clocking of this strip in the kind of the ceramic bone colored grip and how it aligns with these two buttons up top. But I couldn't loosen this. I did watch Jimmy's video, because he designed this saber, on how to change the clocking on this piece. But it feels like it's been adhesed in place maybe with some sort of glue, or perhaps the weathering has like held it in place. I didn't want to mess with it, didn't want to break it. So the clocking may be off, might be worth double checking or re-clocking it when you get your hands on the saber. Jimmy's got a breakdown video of how to adjust the clocking of different components so it all lines up accurate to how it looks in the show. So basically it unscrews here in the middle. This whole lower piece comes off, revealing your chassis. This is a Goth3 Designs ecoCC chassis for this hilt. Went together really nicely. This is probably one of my favorite designs that he's come out with, Rick over at Goth, because it's so clean. There's no wires anywhere. Really nice crystal chamber. I'm a big fan of anything that has brass rod accents. I just think it adds a lot. And it's also got the potential for double lighting as well. So we've got a crystal up top, and we've also got a kind of plasma gate resin piece down the bottom, which is illuminated separately. So I've wired that independently to the crystal and the emitter. To run you through components, we've got a thin neck connector up here, which connects to a thin neck piece that lives beneath the blade plug in this one, which I'll just show you quickly. This is the blade plug as well. It's the you went for the aluminium one. That's been weathered as well, so that just slides out. This blade plug, and there you can see the Neopixel emitter is down inside there. It's held in place with a grub screw that lives under these two O-rings. I did adjust the fit on the O-rings a little bit because they were a little bit loose, so I kind of wrangled those into place so they fit a little bit better. Yeah, so the components for this, we've got the thin neck connector up the top, got two tactile switches, one on either side. The Proffieboard lives beneath this magnetic cover here. There's your Proffieboard, and then this cover just kind of drops into place. You can access the SD card and the micro USB from here as well. The magnetic cover just drops into place like that. Then on this side, you've got a crystal illuminated with a nano Neopixel and a resin piece for resin plasma gate illuminated by another Neopixel. Down the bottom is a 22mm base speaker, I think, battery terminals, and a kill switch. Let me grab your battery quickly, because I don't have it here on my desk. As if by magic, it is now here on my desk. I threw you in a wrapped battery as well. I just did like a gold wrapped one to match the gold of the accents. When putting the battery into this guy, the negative side is down the bottom, so that's the flat side of the battery. The positive side is the nipple side, that goes to the nipple at the top. So positive pointing towards the board on this one. It actually shows it in the chassis as well. There's kind of two indentations, a plus and a minus on the inside there. So pop the battery in. It's not a hugely snug fit, so it comes in and out quite easily. And then flip the kill switch. And we're away. So when the hilt is turned off, all of the crystals will illuminate in the respective blade colors, and they'll kind of fade on and off. The plasma gate remains off until you boot the saber. We do have some gesture controls, so I'll just show off the boot. Plasma gate flashes on, the crystal animation then mimics the blade, and the plasma gate, when you turn the hilt off, the plasma gate will cool down as the crystal goes back into dimming on and off instead. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's the same style on the plasma gate for every single font. You've got 12 fonts on here. It's a combination of kyberphonic fonts and ksith fonts. But the blades and the crystals are all independent for each font. They all do something different. They've all got different animations. Most of them are based on the FET263 library, because this is also using the FET263 button prop. So all the blade styles either match the respective appearance in the Ahsoka show, or the sequel trilogy, or the original trilogy, things like that. And then you've also got some special ones in there as well, like the Ghostbusters Proton Pack, which has a unique blade style, and some of the ones from kSith have unique blade styles as well. So getting this into the hilt, I'm going to turn this off just because when sliding a chassis in and out of a hilt that's got a connector at the top, I like to just flip the kill switch just in case it shorts on anything. Shouldn't do, but you never know. So it'll slide in up here. There is one thing to note with the plungers on this guy. So as Jimmy mentioned in his video, the plungers are very, very small. The springs are tiny. And I found that one of the plungers was protruding in a little bit too far. So every time the chassis went in, it sheared off the button. And I had to replace the button and stick it back down again onto the chassis. So the fix was for that to lock the plungers in place, not fully tightly screwed in, but back them out just a teeny tiny bit so that it doesn't shear the buttons on the way in and out. And that's been locked in place with a tiny amount of super glue on the threads on the inside of the plunger retention. It will come off if you need it to, if you kind of take the button assembly apart and use like a round file to get in and then get the friction and grip and twist. But you shouldn't ever have to do that. So, I mean, it's probably not going to be an issue. But I did have to lock that down. I also had to lock down this kind of accent piece here with a little bit of Loctite because that was picking up vibrations from the speaker and rattling around. I did a few chassis modifications too to make sure some things fit. I had to drill out the holes a little better. The rods kind of clip through part of the crystal chamber, so the tolerances on this guy might need a little bit of work, but we got everything to fit in the end and it's all nice and secure. As I was saying, going in, the crystal and plasma gate will face this accent piece basically. So accent piece at the top, crystal and plasma gate at the top, and then the whole thing slides in. It is a little bit snug. If you feel it like really stuck, don't push it. Don't like jam it in because it's probably caught on a button. Shouldn't be, but you never know. But what I like to do is just kind of slide it in one smooth movement, like that. It's in. And then you can check the buttons work as well, nice and clicky. Click, 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 click. All happy. And then I will turn the kill switch on.
You will regret this decision.
And you can see it's lit up, we're all happy. Screw the lower pommel back on till it stops, make sure it's snug, and that's it, you're away. So what I will do is drop in a blade. This takes a 7/8 inch blade, and I did print as requested for you as well a 7/8 inch, a 1 inch to 7/8 adapter, or vice versa, because you wanted one of those, so I just printed one of those. Obviously you can't use it with this hilt, but I will chuck it in the box with you when I send everything back. So for this guy, it's a pretty snug fit. Oopsie. Pretty snug fit on the 7/8, so I just kind of gently twist as I go down and activate gesture controls by accident. You just hold it down and then tighten the grub screw up top. It is a 1.5 mil grub screw, and that's it. Then you're away. And it's got all the Proffie OS 7 features. It's got the flash on clash, the blasted effect, it's got the track player as well. So those tracks. Obviously, because it is quite a small hilt, it's probably one of the smaller hilts I've ever put together. It's not as loud as some of the other ones could be, but they've done a really good job incorporating this 22mm speaker into what is a very, very small space and still having it sound pretty impressive. So it's quite bassy. It's not massively loud, but if you put the volume up too high in the config, it's going to end up distorting and sound horrible. So this is kind of a good sweet spot that we're in at the moment. Let's just go through some of the fonts for you.
Maroc.
Sabine, this is a nice sounding one. And obviously, like I said, the crystal inside matches the blade, whatever the blade's doing most of the time.
Ezra Bridger. Ray Skywalker.
This is a fun one. With the ignition flare down the bottom.
Anakin Skywalker. Darth Vader.
And here's a Ghostbusters Proton Pack. This is a fun one. It's going to be quite hard to see, but as you rotate the saber on this one, the interval of the flashes changes. So you can kind of like dial it in. It's pretty cool. And there's some variants on that Proton Pack as well that have different colors. It's the slimy one.
Shinhati.
Back to Shin. Which is like a slightly off red, kind of a little bit more orange. That's your lot, that's it. like I said, 12 fonts on here. If anything you've seen so far has stood out to you, do give me a shout and we'll get it changed. The last thing I have to do on this one is add in the voice pack that we're going to go with, something Ahsoka themed for all the UI and the menu stuff. I will also send you the button prop file so you know what the controls are for this one, because it is a 2-button saber. When getting the battery out, it's like, because it's not too snug, you might just be able to get it out with your finger. But sometimes, well, yeah, I can. Sometimes if it gets a little bit snug, just wrap the chassis on your knuckle and it'll kind of pop out gently, obviously. Don't do it like a maniac, but it does just pop out straight away. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything. Really happy with the way this one turned out. It's a really, really nice hilt. It's been put together really well designed. The weathering job on it that Khal over at KR has done is really, really excellent. Not really got any complaints about that. Yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I hope you're happy with everything you've seen. If you are, let me know and I will get this shipped out to you as soon as I can. Otherwise we can make any changes as needed. But apart from that, thank you for joining, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm aware this kit is relatively new, so this may actually be one of the first installed ones that's out. Well, maybe not the first, but one of the early ones that's out there. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea of like what the chassis looks like, what the hilt itself looks like if you've ordered one from krsabers. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Really happy with the build. Any questions, give me a shout. Other than that, we're all sorted. So may the force be with you, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.